Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Welcome back to First Edition Chats with Nicole. I'm Nicole Boone. Take a walk along the Marsh Walk in Murrells Inlet and you'll find Shugs by the Inlet. Cindy Jennerette Sellers, affectionately known as Shug, began creating handmade jewelry to raise awareness for living organ donation, and she is my guest today. Welcome, so good to see you.
You too, thank y'all for having me.
Of course, as we share your story, we're going to showcase some of your beautiful jewelry so that our viewers can see your handcrafted pieces. And you're a nurse, and let's talk about this. When your former husband needed a kidney transplant, you gave him yours. And at the same time, you created your jewelry business to educate others on living organ donation. Tell me more.
So this was a way to keep Jerry's memory alive,
Yes.
and also for me to be able to keep my nursing license without having to actually go into a facility and just be wherever I am educating the public on living organ.
So you use your creativity to make this beautiful jewelry, but how did it all come about that you decided you could do jewelry?
What I didn't know I was an artist until after the fact. When I had time during my grieving, this was something that I started messing with. So I started working on designs that reflected my faith in Christ and also where I live.
Yes.
So here in the inlet, we are a fishing village, and this was a way to pay homage to the place that I live, and also do something that when a tourist comes into the inlet, they could grab something that is sentimental, that represents where they've been on vacation.
I love it. You know, I have several of your pieces
She
as
has
well.
several of my pieces. Yes, she does.
So I love your jewelry, but I love the fact that you took something that you found out you were good at. You used the beauty of where you live, Murrells Inlet. I love the inlet.
Right.
And also you share what's become a ministry for you, and that's organ donation. What was the experience like when you decided you wanted to donate your kidney to your former husband?
At first, it was, I just blurted it out, yes, I want to give you a kidney, and then of course there was a little bit of fear. Of course there's fear,
Sure.
because this is a big decision, but I wanted my children's father to be alive.
Sure.
So no matter what, that was the whole principle behind it, was to have him alive for our children.
And he did eventually pass,
He
but
passed,
you
it
kept
was-
him alive a little longer by giving the gift of life.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
that was my purpose, is to educate people, to make them want to be a living organ donor.
And you can do that when people come to your booth on the boardwalk and when they buy your pieces, because you give them information that shares your story,
I share my
right?
story, absolutely. And I give them all kinds of information in a pamphlet that just discloses what my purpose is, and that they can call me anytime, they can support me online, and of course they can support us by taking care of, you know, buying a piece of jewelry or whatever. But yes, we do have a nonprofit in memory of Jerry to keep his memory alive.
Okay, now back to the jewelry. What's some of the favorite pieces?
So the favorite right now is the piece that I have on, and the piece in front center
Yes,
here, which
gorgeous.
are the pearls. The pearls are attached to something that I call Hooked on Christ Forever, which is my #1 seller. It put me on the map.
Yes, it did.
And Christ is a fisher of men, I tell everybody, and it is accessible to you online. If you don't want to come into my shop, you can shop online.
And quickly tell them where online.
So online, it's Shugs in Memory of Jerry Sellers.org, because we are a .org. We also have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, and we also have TikTok now. I actually post videos of me literally making the jewelry, and we cast and pour our own gold in-house.
It's just gorgeous.
You got anything you need.
This girl right here, one of the most giving people I've ever met. If there's anything going on in the community, she's the first to donate. She's the first to make a piece to say, I will give proceeds to that, whether it's hurricane victims, flood victims. And I appreciate you for the person that you are. We love Shug.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for being my guest today.
I am honored to be her guest any day. So thank you so much,
You're
Nicole.
welcome. We'll be right back.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today, I am joined in studio by Keosha Garrett. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. We're going to talk about what you have been doing, your ministry, Shanevia's Dream Sickle Cell Clinic.
Yes, ma'am. I started a nonprofit this year in memory of my late sister, Shanevia, who passed away from sickle cell complications back in 2021. It's been amazing, the amount of people that we were able to reach in Charleston, McClellanville, Georgetown area. It's definitely amazing. So yeah.
You truly hit the ground running when it comes to all the different things that you've been doing. What do you think is important for the community to know about sickle cell?
The important thing, one of the many important things that I feel that our community should know is that sickle cell is definitely a forgotten about disease. We need more awareness because it affects so many people. I had my second annual blood drive back on Shanevia's birthday, which was June 10th. And I had MUSC to come out to do sickle cell trait testing. And just this morning, I had someone to reach out to me telling me, hey, I got my results and I have the sickle cell trait. And she's about 20 years old and she didn't know. So it's like that gap between the communication from parents over time to their children. Sometimes they forget to let their kids know, hey, you have the trait. Try not to mate with someone else that has the trait because then their child will have sickle cell, which in my case, that's what happened to my sister because my mom knew, but my dad, he didn't.
So education is super important.
Education, most definitely, education.
All right, so if people want to stay connected with you among this journey, how can they do that? Well,
definitely, they can follow us on Facebook at Shanevia's Dream Sickle Cell Clinic. Also, they can reach us at shaneviasdream@gmail.com. If they want to inquire about blood drives, they can refer to the Facebook page, and we keep everyone posted there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, today I am joined by Cecile Walks Peace, an author. I am so happy to talk to you today. How are you doing?
Same here. I'm great. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me.
Well, this is such a treat. We're going to be talking about your book, Gigi's Gems, that you just released this year. This was a huge deal.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it was.
Tell me, there's a story behind this.
There's a story behind Gigi's Gems. Gigi's Gems is loosely based on my mom, Irma Walks, and her bout with dementia. So the story, Gigi's Gems, is a children's picture book, beautifully illustrated by Cameron Wilson. And it's about 3 children and their great-grandmother, their queen, Gigi.
I love it, I love it. So tell me, what was your inspiration to start writing this book? You've been an author for quite some time, right?
I have. So I've done some ghost writing on a few projects, both here and also in the continent of Africa with some friends. And now it's just an opportunity for me to release Gigi's Gems, pretty much to just tell the story of how dementia is affecting our family, to allow our children to have an opportunity to talk about some tough topics.
Tough topics that you illustrate and talk about beautifully, but tell me, how do you make that palatable for children?
So one of the things about children is that if you give them the opportunity to understand, if I can understand it, then with my teaching background, I've been able to teach them how to understand tough topics. So oftentimes it's just an opportunity to empower them, and in this particular story, the children are trying to unlock Gigi's memories. And they find that they have to dig a little bit deeper than just on the surface of Gigi's favorite times with them. And it's the youngest one that finds the key to unlock those memories.
Oh.
Yes.
Very interesting. All right, so tell me, for anyone who wants to read this book, where can they purchase it?
They can purchase this book, Target, Amazon. It's purchased online. It's also at Black Sugar and Spice Books. It was picked up as well there. And so it's an online purchase.
And if people want to stay, with you while you write more books in the future, social media?
Yes, social media. Find me on IG as well as on our website, walksinpeace.com.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
This story is sponsored by Belfour Property Restoration. Well, thanks for joining us today again on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm at Belfour Property Restoration and I'm joined by Tony. How are you?
I am doing well this morning.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about your background and what you guys do. Property restoration. Give me a little bit more.
We do fire and water restoration and mold remediation. Been in the business for 33 years. We were formerly FSA Full Steam Ahead, and we merged with Belfour Property Restoration 3 years ago this past August.
And this was kind of rare that you guys were able to keep your original team. So it's the same people that have been working here for all these years. You guys are a family.
It's the same people, just a different name. Everybody's still here.
Gotcha. So give me some common reasons that people might give you guys a call.
If they've had a hot water heater burst or had a sink that overflowed or a supply line that damaged, the entire house or entire restaurant. We do a lot of high-rise work. We go out, we send crews out to start the drying process. Then we're a general contractor. After everything is dry and secured and stabilized, we come back and do the repairs. And then we also do fire restoration, the same thing. If it's a small kitchen fire that just needs some cabinets replaced and clean all the soot throughout the house, we do that as well, or a large commercial property.
Mm-hmm. And since you guys merged with Belfour, you now have a greater capability of what you're able to do in terms of restoration, right?
That is true. We have 12,200 employees throughout the country, and then we have 6 Belfour offices within 150-mile radius of Myrtle Beach. So we can pull from all those to help us if we have a large loss come in.
Very cool. Walk me through the whole process once somebody gives you guys a call.
We'll dispatch crews, whether it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the morning, to mitigate, make sure nothing else gets damaged, stabilize the property. Then typically an estimator comes out, meets with the property owner, and we come up with a game plan how to get them back to the pre-loss condition of the property.
And you guys have a design studio right here on site too.
We do. They can come in here, pick out their floor coverings, their cabinets, countertops, paint selections, among other things.
What is your favorite part of the process?
Helping people in bad times. We go in when most people don't want to go back into the property and help them clean it back up and get the repairs done.
Give me some examples of a more complicated project that you guys were able to take on.
About 10 years ago, when Barefoot Resort had the forest fire come through, we repaired about 40 of those houses up there. That was back when we were FSA Full Steam Ahead then. Met some terrific people up there under terrible circumstances, and actually one of them we're still good friends with.
Love that.
Yeah.
And you're able to do both commercial and residential repairs.
We do. We do a lot of commercial and we do a lot of residential. A lot of stuff we do is very small. People think that we do just the large stuff, but we actually do more smaller stuff. Had a supply line to a toilet that burst, just affected one bedroom, we come out and take care of that as well.
And I don't think people realize how much something like that can affect your home. And if you don't get it taken care of by the right people, that could become a big, big problem.
If an ice maker line burst in the middle of the night and you didn't find it till the next morning, it could flood the entire house. It could snowball where you start getting mold to start growing in the room if it's not properly dried out.
All right, so if someone is experiencing something right now, needs to give you guys a call, how can they get in contact with you? What's the best way?
They would call our office number at 843-626-7391, and somebody's there answering that phone 24 hours a day.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.